Alright guys, what's up? Master Duel just had a huge update, and one of the things that we got is Sprights. It's probably going to be the very best deck in the entire game. The combos that this deck can do, the things that this deck can do off of just 1-2 cards is insane. Just like off of one card, you can get at least 4 or 5 interruptions, which is just insane. I have a combo at the end of this video that I'm going to be showing you, but this is my Spright deck. Obviously, more Master Duel content is coming. I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. I am playing the Frame package, so you got Frame Gamma followed by Driver. I like Frame Gamma because when you activate something like Starter or Lightning Storm or Instant Fusion, even if you're going second, you activate that, and your opponent tries to hand trap it in some way, you summon this, which is a level 2, and then you can start to combo off with it, which is fairly awesome. Also, this is one of the better hand traps going second. It's like really good. This deck isn't like built to go second, but let's be honest, sometimes we lose coin flips and things don't always go our way. Next we play the Yamato. This thing basically substitutes itself as a level 8 for a synchro monster, so you have all of these level 2s in the deck, and then this thing is, like I said, a level it can substitute itself for a level 8, and you can basically make Baron de Fleur whenever you want to. You can just summon this out and then make Baron de Fleur. Pretty cool. Then we've got 3 copies of Swap Frog. Swap Frog is really integral to this deck. It's probably one of the better normal summons that you could possibly get to, in addition to just being a really good normal summon. This card basically allows you to do crazy combos where you can balance itself and then normal summon again, which is really cool. And on top of that, this card actually enables you to you can summon Maxi from the deck with gigantic Spright, and then you can use Swap Frog to bounce the Maxi back to your hand and then give yourself an extra normal summon. And basically this deck can actually search Maxi, which is just insane, because it's already such a powerful deck. On top of it, it can legitimately search Maxi, because again, you're summoning Maxi from the deck with gigantic Spright, and then you're just bouncing it to the hand with the Swap Frog. It's just like absolutely crazy. Then we've got Ronin Totem, another key card. Ronin Totem basically banish the Swap Frogs, keep summoning it back, and you can do it for link plays, Exceed plays, everything. It's a really important like fuel card. We bought 3 copies of Maxi, already the best hand trap in the game. Now it's searchable in this deck. 2 Gear Gammas because they're semi-limited. Nightmare Corruptor Ibli is the other level 2 that I play. It's really good. Basically, if you link this away, you can summon it onto your opponent's board, and they can't get rid of it unless they link it away or attack into your field. So basically, they're either losing their battlefield or they are stuck not being able to do anything. Really good against a deck like, for example, it's really good against Numeron, for example. Like, what does Numeron do against Nightmare Corruptor Ibli? Like, they just... like, usually that's a deck that you will randomly lose to on ladder. If you put a Nightmare Corruptor Ibli on a Numeron board, they can't Lightning Storm. They can't they can't Lightning Storm. They can no longer imperm you because they now have a monster on their board. On top of that, now they can't even activate their field spell to summon all the Exceed monsters. So they lose their battle phase, and they lose essentially the entire duel. Then we've got Spright Blue. 3 copies. This is your main searcher. So all of the sprites have the same gimmick, which is if you control a link 2 or rank 2 monster, you can special summon a Spright monster for free. This includes all of the sprites. They can all summon themselves for free. And then these 2 sprites, which is the Jet and the Blue, if you special summon them, you can actually have an additional effect. So with Spright Blue, he searches any of the other Spright monsters, and then with Spright Jet, you can search any Spright spell or trap card when it's special summoned. Either of these 2 go with very good effects. These 2 sprites actually have negates on them. So Spright Red lets you negate a monster effect if you control a link 2 if you control a link 2 or a rank 2. On top of that, you can negate a monster effect, which is really good. You can negate a monster effect plus destroy the card, and then this negates spawn trap cards. You do have to tribute another Spright monster in order to do it, but I mean, it doesn't matter. The board, this deck, like, it throws monsters on the board so easily, so it doesn't even matter. So both of these are negates. This searches the spawn trap cards. This searches the monster. Like, there's not a wasteful monster at all. Every single card has some very good value. Next we play Ash Blossom because it's just the best hand trap. Then we play this engine. I play the Instant Fusion engine, which is Instant Fusion and the Ready Fusions, and then you just summon the Albion. Albion is basically a level 2 monster that's also a tuner that you can basically special summon from the extra deck for free at any time. It's very tough for your opponent to like deal with it. You can't hand trap this. Like, there's no hand trap that really will deal with this. Yeah, you just special summon it out, and then it's just it's awesome. It's just a it's a level 2 monster that's in your extra deck, so you don't have to worry about using up deck space. Then we play Lightning Storm. This is for runic matchups, weird, annoying stuff. Prosperity, just for the consistency, so that we can get to our main engine cards and always go off. Like I said, 3 Ready Fusions, so we can summon Albion. Then we play 2 Call by the Grave, and the reason we want to summon Albion so badly is because the whole point of the deck is to put a level 2 on board, so that all of the sprites in our hand are basically live. 2 Call by the Grave because we want our stuff to resolve. 2 Spright Starter because it's semi-limited. This is one of the best cards in the deck. It locks you into level 2s, but this basically special summons a Spright monster from your deck, and it does trigger blue and it does trigger jet, which is really, really good because as soon as you activate this, you get to search off of blue, you get to search jet, and since blue is on the field, you get to special summon jet, then you get to search. Like, this one card is like, just without even doing any combos, just from the cards that you search, is an immediate +3. And on top of that, you do get to combo off, and it ends up being like, I think it's like a +4 or 5 with like 4 interruptions off of just this one card. Next we play Spright Smashers. This thing basically lets you banish a level 2, or is it, yeah, banish a level 2, link 2, or rank 2 monster that you control, and you can banish a card your opponent controls non-targeting, very important, so you can get rid of a lot of really, really just annoying cards that, yeah, just annoying cards to deal with, which is really cool. 3 more hand traps, which is the Infinite Impermanence. We play all of the best hand traps in the game. Impermanence, Ash, and Maxi. They're all the best, the most versatile hand traps available. For the extra deck, we play 3 Albion because you summon him off the Instant Fusion. We do play Baron de Fleur because you can summon him off the follow-up play off the Yamato. You can even summon it kind of earlier in your combo, and you happen to get this, and you have a good, decent hand. We play Sky Cavalry Centuria. This card basically can't be destroyed by battle, so you just enter battle, battle something, and then you go into the Zeus line on the follow-up play. Pretty cool there. Gigantic Spright is really, really good because it summons any level 2 monster from the deck whatsoever. It does gain attack if you use you can actually use a link 2 monster as material. So for like Spright Elf, for example, you can use that as material, and this will have double its attack, so it can help you like get over stuff. But yeah, main thing that it does is summon a level 2. It does lock both players into level 2s for the rest of the turn. You want to do this as early as possible. This is actually really, really good against things like Sky Strikers, because if you use this against them, they can't summon their Ray when you like destroy their Ray. When you destroy like their Kagari by battle or by card effect, they can't special summon their Ray from the graveyard because you've locked both players into level 2s. So in a weird way, it can help against a lot of various decks that have recursion. Downward Magician, again, this is just for the Zeus. The Zeus, you know what Zeus is for. Salamander, All Mirage is a worst case scenario if you like draw just Ibli and then you just put on your opponent's board. We've got IP Masquerena, very important, lets you link summon during your opponent's turn. Alpha is very, very important. It's banned in the TCG for a reason. Basically what this card does as a quick effect to special summon a a level 2 monster from your graveyard, and if your opponent controls a monster, you can summon a rank 2 or you can summon a link 2 or rank 2 from your graveyard. So it's all very, very important. Nightmare Unicorn for the IP plays. Appaloosa Bow the Goddess. Again, this card is actually fairly important because during our opponent's turn we will go into the IP Masquerena, and then we've got Access Code Talker to finish out games. I actually might replace this with Crusadia Avermax. Now I'm looking at it because I think Crusadia Avermax is probably even better in this situation because you can summon it off the IP and then your opponent will have trouble dealing with it. So I'll probably just replace that. But yeah, that is the deck. Let me show you the combo real quick, and then we're going to basically be done here. But let me go show you the combo, guys. Alright guys, so here is the Spright combo that I'm going to show you. This deck is extremely consistent, so you literally only need one card. It's Spright Starter. You could also do this combo plus more if you just have a level 2 and any Spright monster. You can do much more than what I'm about to show you, but still, it's crazy what you can do just off of one Spright Starter. So we're going to activate Spright Starter. We're going to special summon Spright Blue from our deck. We're going to activate the effect of Spright Blue in order to search the Spright Jet. And then since we control a Spright Blue, we're going to be able to special summon the Spright Jet and activate Jet's effect to search another card. You can get a Spright Starter if you want to be able to have a negate on your opponent's board, either monster or spell trap negate, or you can go for the Spright Smashers, and this card will basically allow you to have a non-targeting banish on your opponent's turn. You can do either. Either's fine. Like it's whichever interruption you want. So again, this is non-targeting banish. This is a negate of a monster or a negate of a spawn trap. Either one will, like either one gets you to a really good place. So in this particular case, I'm going to go with the Spright Starter. We are now going to overlay into the Spright Sprind. Activate the effect of Spright Sprind, detach, whichever one you want to summon during your opponent's turn. So if you want a monster search, you go with this. If you want a spawn trap card search, you go with this. I'm going to go with the Jet, and then I'm going to ignore what I have here. It's obviously not the same as the regular deck that I'm playing. I'm going to special summon the Swap Frog from the deck. Activate the effect of Swap Frog to send Rodentonen to the graveyard. We're going to activate the effect of Swap Frog to return itself to the hand to get an extra normal summon of a water monster. But we haven't normal summoned regularly anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So we're going to normal summon the Swap Frog, activate the effect of Swap Frog to send another Swap Frog to the graveyard. Swap Frog's effect is not once per turn. You can activate it as many times as you want to activate it. Now we're going to activate the effect of Rodentonen, banish the Swap Frog to special summon itself back to the field. Now we're going to link 2 into the Spright Elf. We're going to activate the Spright Elf, which during our turn or our opponent's turn, we can summon a level 2 monster from the graveyard or link 2/rank 2. So we're going to activate the Spright Elf to summon the Swap Frog again. Activate the effect of Swap Frog again in order to send our last Swap Frog to the graveyard. Now what's awesome is after you Spright Sprind, you cannot get Nibiru because neither player can special summon a monster that is level 2 or higher, which is really cool. We basically lock ourselves out of Nibiru. Also, Spright Elf protects monsters from targeting that are underneath it. So now we're going to activate Rodentonen, banish that in order to summon itself back. And now we are going to overlay, or not overlay, we're going to go into the IP, and we're going to activate the Rodentonen for the last time, banish the Swap Frog to special summon itself back to the field. We're going to set the Spright Starter, since it's once per turn. We're going to use it during our opponent's turn. This may not seem like a very imposing board, but I assure you it will be in a moment. And remember, our opponent cannot target anything underneath the Spright Elf. So we're going to pass here. Not activate anything on our opponent's turn. Nope, still nothing. Wait for our opponent to do something in main phase 1 so we can activate the effect of IP Masquerena. But first we're going to activate the effect of Spright Elf to bring back Spright Jet. Bring back Spright Jet, activate Spright Jet's effect to search. This will allow us to add Smashers. This will just basically give us a free banish on our next turn. And then now that that's resolved, we're going to activate the effect of IP Masquerena. And IP Masquerena will allow us to summon an Appaloosa. We can either make a 4 negate Appaloosa or a 3 negate Appaloosa, or we can go into the Nightmare Unicorn if we wanted to, but we're going to go into the Appaloosa using IP, Ronin, and Spright Jet, and that's it. So we're going to summon that out, and that's basically a 3 negate Appaloosa, cannot be targeted. And then on top of that, we're going to activate the Spright Starter. This is all in our opponent's main phase 1. Spright Starter, we're going to activate it in order to get one of two things. It's up to you. We can either get the Spright Red out, which is a monster negate, and if you tribute a link 2 or a rank 2 monster, in order to do it, you can actually destroy the monster. So it's a negate plus a destruction if you tribute Gigantic Spright, or you can summon Carrot, which is a spawn trap card negate, and then destruction if you tribute these Gigantic Sprites. So in this particular case, usually I just go for the Spright Carrot. Always summon it under the Elf, because Elf will basically always summon it underneath the Elf, because Elf will protect any monster that's underneath it. And this is basically the board that we end on our opponent's turn. This is again in their main phase 1. We have an Appaloosa of 3 negates. We have a Spell Trap card negate or Monster negate. This just kind of sits here. It's not really doing anything. And then Spright Elf we already used, but it gives us like lingering protection for these 2 monsters. And this is all off of one single card. We have 4 interruptions off of 1 card, plus protection for those interruptions, and we have a follow-up. We can either search Smashers or we can search the Spright starter, but Spright starter is limited to 2. I think it's semi-limited in Master Duel, so unfortunately it's not going to be, we can't just keep searching another one and another one, so we are going to end up searching the Smashers. So this is pretty crazy off of just 1 card. And obviously you can do a lot more with a lot more rank 2s, link 2s, stuff like that with all of the other Spright cards. But thank you for watching. If you like this particular combo, definitely comment down below and I'll try to get some other ones out for you. Maybe like an Evil Twin one, but thank you for watching. La, 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 la.